Okay, a profoundly short piece today, but nevertheless a very, very beautiful and very important teaching, which can alleviate the desperate desire that we all have for connection and spiritual connection and spiritual unity and oneness, and often feel that it's beyond our capabilities or it's beyond our reach. And what the Baal Shem Tov is about to show us is that it's actually in everyone's hands in the most simplest of fashions. Nevertheless, a person is not so easily able to tap into this teaching or this way of life. But the more we can try and integrate this as a daily engagement, a daily state of consciousness, a daily state of mindfulness, we'll see that our lives can transform, and we can access a deeper state of happiness and joy and presence in our experiences of life. So listen to what the Baal Shem Tov says. Very short, but there's so much there to work on. Kol asher timtze yadcha la'asos b'koichecha aseh. So the Baal Shem Tov brings here a verse from Koheles. And Koheles says, everything that's in your hands to do, do. Okay, so we could simply interpret that to mean, everything that you can do to be productive, to be proactive, to achieve, to produce, do. Don't wait, do it. But listen to how the Baal Shem Tov interprets this. Perush. Lekasher hamaise bekoyach. He says, connect your action, bekoyach, with strength, im hamachshava, with your thoughts. So what he's saying is you have to actively connect your action with your thoughts to tell us that there's a general state of being, or there is a general state of not being in this world, where a person does actions, does activities. Could be just the process of walking or breathing or engaging with day-to-day type of tasks, or even a person could be exercising, a person could be talking, a person could be existing, but they're actually not there. Their mind is not totally vested within the experience, however mundane they may perceive that experience to be. Their mind is bored by it. Their mind, sort of judges that experience to be not worthy of attention. And a person can be doing something and totally subsumed with other thought formations and other states of non-existence. So the Baal Shem Tov is saying, the verse in Koheles, on a deeper level in terms of its interpretation here, is saying everything that your hand finds itself doing, everything that is in your hand, which means even the most simplest of circumstances, even the most simplest of movements, do it with all your might. What's that mean? Connect that action with your mind. Connect that action with your presence, with your consciousness. Totally vest yourself within the experience of what you're doing. Now listen to this. This is really, really beautiful. He brings a proof, and it's very connected to the parashas that we've just been learning. V'zeh shenemar la'asos. Look at the next source. B'koichecha, do with all of your strength. Zeu mailes Chanoch matat. So Chanoch, we know Enoch or Enoch. I don't know how you pronounce it in the vernacular, but Chanoch was an individual who was substantially spiritual, to the extent that it speaks about Chanoch actually being taken from this world because he was so elevated and so spiritual. He was so tapped into consciousness and what it means to be a person that's connected to Hashem, that Hashem said, I don't want you to lose this. I don't want you to be affected by the world that you live in here. You've done such amazing work. I'm going to take you earlier and bring you to a higher state of being immediately. So Chanoch, we also know, was Toifer Na'alim. He was a cobbler. Okay, that was his job. And it speaks about Chanoch in the Midrash. Chanoch is spoken about, listen to this, Shaya Meyached Kudshabrichu, or Kavoid Shamayim. He would be able to join and integrate and connect the upper worlds, the heavenly worlds, the ephemeral worlds of deep spiritual connection and consciousness. Al kol tefira, with every single time that he sewed a pair of shoes, every time he put that needle in with the thread on the end and he pulled it through the two pieces of leather and he pulled it together, he was being meyached shem shamayim. He was bringing the upper and lower worlds together. What a beautiful thing. Why? Because when a person, and I'll tell you, Rav Dessler, okay, Rav Dessler takes this, and this is the classic interpretation of this specific verse or this specific teaching, midrash about Chanoch. So Chanoch, this cobbler who was extremely spiritual, you would think, no, come on, a cobbler, spiritual. So it speaks about Chanoch having every tefira, every time he sewed the shoe, the leather together, he was bringing the upper worlds and the lower worlds together. What does that mean? So Rav Dessler says that means that he made sure that everything he did was done with perfection. That everything he did, he said to himself, one second, I'm just going to tell my dog. So the classic interpretation of this teaching is from Rav Dessler, as we said, that he would think about the people that he was working for. He would think about the people that would wear these shoes, and he would make sure, listen, these people need to have proper, strong shoes that will last them for a good long time. And he would put all of his effort into making sure that was perfect. Okay, that's the classic interpretation. The Baal Shem Tov takes it to such a beautiful and spiritual, I mean, not that that's not spiritual and not beautiful, but it is such a practical thing here. It elevates us into such a deeper emotional, spiritual state, this specific teaching, that no, what he was simply doing to bridge the upper worlds and the lower worlds, you know what he simply had to do in order to do that? All he had to do was be present. And that is so hard for us. But all he had to do is take that needle and bring himself totally in that experience and bridge that leather together and experience him, that consciousness of just being present in that action and experiencing HaKadosh Baruch Hu in that action. All he had to do was that, and that would be able to be miyached the upper worlds and the lower worlds. And this is what he says. He says this was the level of Moses. Shene'emar ve'ata poi oimed imadi. As it says, listen to how beautiful this is. You are here, ve'ata, you are here, poi amod imadi, standing with me. You are here standing with me. What does that mean? You are here standing with me. Poi, why do you have to say that? You could have just said, Ata amod imadi, you are standing with me. Why do you have to say poi, here? To tell us that we need constant reminders to place ourselves here, constant reminders to be able to tell ourselves, I know that there's so much baggage in the mind, so much that is pulling us away from ourselves. And the essence of spiritual connection and experience is oimed poi imadi, that you are standing here with Hashem, whatever the circumstances are. And now the mind will come to a person and say to them, no. Maybe when everything's calm and everything's connected and everything's, sorted out, then I can be present. Then I can be totally in the most easiest and most simple and mundane actions, I can be there. But no, the teaching here is however crazy it is and whatever your mind is taking you away from, tell yourself the only thing I know for sure, for certain, is what is in front of me right now, and being present with that experience, even in the most simplest of senses. And this is essentially also through the tefirah, through the sewing of bridging two opposites. That's what we're doing. Every time you make yourself a coffee and you listen and you present and you smell and you just experience the heat and you're there, what are you doing? You are like this individual, Chanoch, that is coming to sew the upper worlds and the lower worlds together. And my friends, this is one of the most profound but beautiful teachings that we see the world taking to in a big way when we see these mindfulness movements and we see the teachings of other philosophies. This is deeply enriched within our culture and within the most spiritual of experiences that is so overlooked in today's religious societies, especially within the Jewish society. We have to realize that it can't just be about the ritualistic experiences and forms of service of Hashem, which is extremely important. I'm not undermining that, but those need to elevate us to a deeper state of existence in our daily activity. It can't be that life is only about learning Torah and only about praying and only about doing mitzvahs. We have to subsume every action to experience Hashem in those most mundane actions. Through our states of presence and simplicity and consciousness, we are able to elevate ourselves to experience Hashem in every single moment. So thank you for joining us this moment and this morning. We'll open up for any questions if anyone has any questions. You have something to say, Pauline?
Just to ask you, so was this Chanoch, was he one of the was he the Lamed Vav, one of the Lamed Vav being
Lamed Vavniks?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Hidden tzaddiks.
I'm not sure. We don't know. Could be he was one of those Lamed Vavniks that keep the generation moving. I don't know why.
Being that he was a cobbler.
It was a cobbler. It's simple. It's just teaching us spiritually. There's no echelons of spirituality here where you have to, the most simplest of tasks, the ability just to be present through that sewing of the leather together with the thread is the most spiritual action that can elevate us. And that's transformative. That's really, it allows us to subsume our experiences of this world in every form and manifestation as a experience with Hashem. That's the powerful teaching here. Yeah. Rita Rivka or
I just wanted to know which Chanoch he was, because there were a few.
I think I've
seen the name in different places, so I don't know which one he was.
Talking about Chanoch in the Bereshis.
Yeah, Enoch. Enoch is the English version.
Yeah, Enoch.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Yehuda?
Yeah, if I can also just say, it's a powerful teaching, and it gives so much spiritual meaning to what we actually do on a daily basis. We think we work because we need to live and we need to make money and we need to survive, but this puts it on a completely different level.
100%.
It's not just that we're merely doing things and going about our daily life.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
This connects with what you were talking about a couple of days, 2 days ago also. This would be incredible chizuk for people who are in the throes of a really difficult situation.
Yeah.
Just saying atap poor Amud Imadi
Yeah.
would just give someone so much chizuk.
100% that you are standing here with me, but here you need to stand poi, meaning you also need to be here. Moses had to be there. You know, you could be standing
Right.
someone but not be there. That's the teaching. And it's saying, stand here with me. Hashem is saying, wake up and be here with me. And the two elements here on the spiritual scale is, number one, what prevents us from actually experiencing the most mundane forms of experience is our minds. So our minds could be totally taken with so much thought about what's wrong and how bad things are and why I'm upset and how I don't have enough. And by simply bringing yourself into a state of consciousness of what do I know, you elevate yourself beyond the mind and beyond the lower forms of mind and enter into what we refer to as chokhmah. Chokhmah is presence or das, which is a total connection to our experience of life and to our experience of Hashem in every single moment. Yeah, that's what we're learning here. Yeah. Alan, do you have something to say there?
I wanted to...
Sorry, Al. Yeah, I muted you by mistake there. I'm sorry, Alan. Okay, let's try and unmute you.
Mute.
Yeah,
No, I just wanted to say that
yes.
it was absolutely exceptional what you were saying. I've never heard anyone say those thoughts before.
Thank you.
I think we all learned a lot this morning.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Chevra. Thank you, and please God, we should continue to work on these spiritual elements. I know that they're not easy. And it's okay to fail. But even with just bringing ourselves into even those moments, however much you failed, however much you feeling despondent, and however much you may feel, I'm so not spiritually conscious now. That's the exact time to say, oh, 1 second, that's just all in my mind. It's all in my mind. Let me bring myself deeply into the experience of now, and let me enter into my essence. My essence is not found in my thoughts. My essence is not found in my emotions. My essence is found in being totally present with Hashem in every single moment, not as a concept, but as a conscious state of connection. Yeah, and that's what the Baal Shem Tov is teaching us this morning. Yeah. All right, my friends, sending you lots of bracha. Have a beautiful day. And please.
Beautiful. Thank you. You too. Amazing.
Okay. Bye-bye.